within our first year, we grew up to 35 employees, which is like just insane.
Well, hello and welcome back to Be Life Changers. I am Kathy Coach, your host, and I am so excited to be back in the studio. I can't believe we are this far into 2026, and we are here at JT Visuals, and I have a very good friend of mine with me today, and I'm so excited to introduce you to her. Veronica and I have known each other for quite a while, and I just really have just adopted her as another family member. She's like a daughter to me, and I want to welcome you to JT Visuals and Be Life Changers. What do you think about this studio?
Yeah, I love it. Thank you so much for having me here. It's definitely my first podcast, and it's a vibe so far.
Oh, there you go. There you go. It is a vibe, and it is definitely JT Visuals is without the eye because they are definitely more than meets the eye. The experience is wonderful. I am a busy mom, just like yourself, and grandmother. You aren't there yet, but because you're way too young. But you'll see that when a busy life, it's nice to be able to come in, record a podcast, walk out, and know that it's being well taken care of by an amazing team who does everything by heart. And so thank you, JT Visuals, for always doing such an amazing job with all the podcasts. But, I am a little partial to mine. So thank you very much for taking good care of us. So I want to introduce you guys. This is Veronica. We have been friends, a couple of years now. We met through networking, and the power of networking is just huge. And we kicked it off and really got to know each other there. And she is a very young owner. And that's why I'm going to say, because, you dream big. Don't be scared to go for it. She is a young business owner of a very powerful company right here in Kansas City, cleaning Maids in and out. And I couldn't live without them because they definitely take care of me so I can be able to do the things that I do. So thank you for taking such good care of me.
Yeah, thank you for being a loyal client and friend.
Yes. Well, I just want to jump in and let everybody get to know you just a little bit more. On Be Life Changers, we talk about real people, real stories that make a real change. And you have made a huge change here in Kansas City by having a cleaning company that literally cares about each and every individual, whether that be a business, commercial, or whether that be a home like myself. You take such good care of us, and thank you for that. So tell us, how did it all get started? Tell us a little bit about yourself, something that maybe somebody doesn't know about you.
Sure. So I'm Veronica Bolton. Mm-hmm. I'm from Kansas City, grew up all around Kansas City, moved away for a few years, came back. I'm a single mom of 2 boys, 8 and 5. I have them full-time while working my businesses. Something that people probably don't know about me is I used to do pageants and modeling when I was younger. Really loved it. My grandparents really loved it for me. But I obviously like tattoos and piercings, and that's not allowed in the pageant world. So stopped doing it. So how did I get started? I learned marketing fresh out of high school, did that for 6 years, became a mom influencer and was a virtual assistant for other business owners, became very envious of them and what they had going on. And it was if I'm helping them make money, surely I can do it. I just didn't want to be home anymore. I wanted to go out and be in my community. So I started working odd jobs to figure out what I was going to do. Mm-hmm. I started working under this other cleaning company and was really inspired. And so I thought that I could do it. I thought I could do it better. So I went and started my own cleaning company. It was supposed to be just for my 10 friends and I. It really wasn't supposed to be as big as it got. It just exploded after 2 months. It became way bigger than I expected, way more than I even knew how to handle. Mm-hmm. Within our first year, we grew up to 35 employees, which is like just insane. Right now, we are sitting at 26. It usually fluctuates, though. We are in our slow season for January. I've been in the cleaning business for 4 years. We do all cleanings, so move-in, move-outs, post-constructions, residential, commercial, really big warehouses to really small, like, dental offices. We are in Kansas, Missouri, and Florida, and we also clean short-term rentals. We actually specialize in short-term rentals, so I'm able to what I learned with Airbnbs is that the owners want you to take care of the property, and you almost become like a manager for them, but like not being paid for it. So I kind of thought, I'm just going to go start my own management company, and get paid for my time. So I do have a property management company too, Von Dean Property Management. It's for short-term rentals only. Not that big. Don't plan to make it that big, just to help a few people here in Kansas City. And so we just love Airbnbs. What makes us different than a lot of cleaning companies, because I don't want people to think, oh, it's just another cleaning person. I pay the highest wage here in Kansas City. You can look it up.
Yes, you do.
My minimum is $25 an hour, up to $45 an hour, depending on the job. And then I help my employees, really get more than just a job. Like, I really want them to be successful. Like, learn how to buy a house, learn how to have a bank account and a savings account. Okay, you're going to make all this money with me. What are we going to do with it now? Let's invest it. I'll teach you how to invest. And so it's just all the stuff that I've learned over the years and stuff that I did not learn in high school or from my parents. So if I can be a different type of boss to my workers, that is what my goal is. It's not just about providing a job and a paycheck. It's providing more. I've helped people get houses. I've helped people buy cars. The last thing I want is someone to feel like they're stuck and can't get to work and don't have a car. That's a very uncomfortable situation. So if I can help them, and when you just show a little bit of love and care, I mean, people will I'll do a lot more for you. And so I think that's where a lot of businesses lack or have a lot of turnover rate, is because they don't actually care a lot about their employees. It's just another employee, as in I treat it as family.
And I think that's what drew me to you. When I first met you, I was really shocked when I found out your age, because I was like, wow, I mean, you've got an old soul. Like, to think ahead like that, to know at a very young age, even though you had been through some situations that may not have been easy for you, you didn't quit. You took and learned from those situations, and then got underneath good leadership and learned the ins and outs of different areas of entrepreneurship, which really has helped you. I mean, to be able to go in and know that social media side, or, learn from other business and business owners. I think that's what's important. I know back when I was managing a gym and I had lots of young girls underneath me, that was the one thing I used to always stress to them was, yes, it may not be fun cleaning the floors right now. This may not be the job you want, like wiping up after people in the gym, or, having to be told what to do is not fun. But I want you to dream big. I want you to start seeing yourself where you want to be and walk that part before you're even there. So if you want to be in management, then start learning from your manager the things that you like and the things that you don't like. Because like you said, you watched the industry when you were working in the cleaning company. You saw the things that you liked and said, hey, I could do this. But then you also stepped back and said, woo, I know the few things that could make me stand out, which a lot of people don't take the time to see that before stepping into owning a business. And I think, when I met you, I was like, wow, she really gets it. And I could see why your company grew so fast. And so, it's just encouraging to see that, as seeing other young entrepreneurs jumping into that. And then not only that, having the heart to want to help others do the same thing. Like you said, that is what's lacking in businesses today is the respect for the people that work for you, making them almost more like family than your employee and feeling like you get to boss them around or whatever. But I think that is a key to look at is being able to step in there and be that mentor for these young, mostly women that work for you, that you've been there. You know how hard it can be. You know how it is to be a single mom. So to be able to equip them with those tools, that is so important. And then paying them what they're, over and above what most employers pay. It makes people feel good. And it's the little things sometimes. It doesn't always even have to be always money. It's the little things that you do take time to train and show them that you care or show up and be there for them. Because I've seen that on the outside. Yeah. And I think that makes a huge difference. And I truly believe that's one reason your company is growing so quickly.
Yeah. Totally.
Yep. So as a young mom, though, I know when you stepped into that, since we're kind of talking about that, what would you say were a few things at the beginning that was the biggest challenge for you that could help that young entrepreneur out there who might be walking in a little bit of fear or thinking, I'm too young for this, I can't do that? What are some things that you did have to jump hurdles for when you first got started?
Yeah, so two things stick out the most to me. One is everyone, including myself, complains about childcare. Well, if I'm going to go work this job, who's going to take care of my kids? Nobody should be ashamed to have to get on food stamps or government care for a little bit. Like, it's nothing to be ashamed for. That's what we pay taxes for. It's there to help us. So if you have to do that for 6 months, go do it. It doesn't make your child care completely free, but it does cut it in nearly half, and that helps a lot. Maybe you can only work certain jobs. So like sometimes Airbnbs or move-outs you can actually take your kids to because they're pretty much empty. Obviously, you can't take your child to a residential home or commercial building, but just schedule yourself only for those jobs so you can take your kids to those jobs with you. As your kids get older, they really do appreciate that time, and they learn and they see you work hard. And my kids now realize, okay, well, I have to work to provide for you and to buy you V-Bucks and these toys, or we're not going to have these things.
Right.
And so it's cool because they are finally getting it and they're okay with it. The next thing is, and I always say put family first if you can. If you got to take your child to daycare or to doctors, that's fine. Do it. Take your child to the doctors. But I think there's times I find myself focusing more on business than my kids. And it's either my kids are being neglected and my business is doing great, or my business is being neglected and my kids are doing great. And so there's no middle. But just know, as long as you're doing 100% every day, and whether, let's say you do get that extra free time, go be with your kids. Don't go tanning or go party. Go be with your kids. Take them to these activities with you. And, there's going to be some weeks, you're going to have to put business first. And there's going to be some weeks you have to put your kids first. It's just learning to be okay with that and not feeling bad.
Right. I know learning that balance, I think it doesn't matter if you're a single mom or a mom, that has the traditional husband and wife or in the family or whatever. It doesn't matter. We all struggle. Or if you don't even have kids at all, we struggle with balancing time. I think that is one of the most hardest things to get down. And we do forget those things and get sidetracked because, like you said, the business could be doing really well and successful. And so you start focusing so much on that. And then, oh my gosh, I am neglecting my kids over here, or I'm doing my kids and the business. And then you're feeling wore out and tired and you're wondering what that is. Well, it's because you didn't get some self-care in there. And I think that's important to touch on too, is that, it's important to balance yourself completely, spiritually, mentally, physically, even make sure you're taking walks or going to the gym. Those things help clear the mind. I know sometimes sometimes we think, we don't have time for this. What am I going to do? But I find that even in the mornings, if I just take a quick walk, I can listen to an ebook or like listen to a motivational, get myself pumping and going, or say my prayers as I'm taking a walk, you know. And then I just feel rejuvenated and can start that day, even though maybe that's the only thing I get to do for myself that morning, or it might be a bath at night, taking that time just to be quiet when the kids go to bed. And that was always my favorite thing. I don't know if your kids have done this, but I know back in the day, for those of you that don't know, I do have 8 children. And so all together, we are a blended family. So I always had 5 at home with me. And so my favorite thing was to go get in the bathtub at night. And I remember seeing little fingers like underneath the door.
Yeah.
Their little fingers. And I'm like, okay, so I've turned music on and got the candles. I'm like, okay, like I'm trying to like literally, Mom, you know, but you just have to learn like, okay, that's what I love you. I'll be out in a minute. This is super important. I promise to read this book to you when I'm done if you just give me 10 minutes. But sometimes we have to take that time and make for you, because if your cup is empty, we have nothing to give. We have nothing to give our family. We have nothing to give our children. We have nothing to give our business, our friends. So it is important to find those things that feed you. And it could be as little, like you said, as taking a walk, to getting your favorite coffee from somewhere, to just those little things that might be crocheting. Some people like crafts or whatever. Whatever it is, make sure you're putting that in, as well as everything in that balance, because then you're going to find, wait, I have more to give. And you're going to wonder why I have more energy and why I even have more time. Well, it's because you took a moment to even fill yourself so that you can fill everybody else. And so I think that's important to mention too. And you being a young entrepreneur, I want to remind you of that, because I even at my age, which we're not going to say, most people know, but I'm not going to say today, I still don't feel like it. Some days I do, some days I don't. But I have to even remind myself that I'm wondering, why do I feel short with my kids? Why do I feel overwhelmed? Why do I feel like there's a weight on my chest? Why do I feel like irritable? Why is it that when the radio is on and the TV and the kids are talking, I'm feeling like shaky and irritated? I can 100% go back and find out it's because I give everything I had and didn't take a moment for me. Every single time. If I find myself being like short with my kids, short with my employees, short with, I'm finding myself in those situations, I had not fed myself somewhere every single time. It's amazing.
And I think, when you do have all this going on, even just learning to get up at 5 a.m. or 6 a.m. and having that 2 extra hours in the morning, or if you're an night owl, stay 2 hours late, and it does a lot. And you can go in baby steps. People are always like, how do you get up at 4 a.m.? I actually get up at 4 a.m. And I started with baby steps. Started at 7 a.m., went to 6 a.m., 5 a.m., now 4 a.m. And I don't get up every day at 4 a.m., but overall, because that is the only time I'm alone. My kids are sleeping. Everyone else is sleeping. So I'm fully by myself. Nobody's blowing up my phone. So just, having that little bit of time for yourself is just so important, or you can't take care of other people if you're not taking care of yourself. So true. So true. And I think finding, like you said, mentioning, am I an early bird or am I a night owl? Because that makes sense too, because it is really hard for people. Now, I had played with morning times, and I used to years ago teach a boot camp class. So when I was raising my kids, I'd get up and literally go teach a class before coming home, getting them ready for school and taking them to school. And so it was so crazy because it was so hard for me to get up and get the kids ready. And I thought, when I took this class on, I thought, I've lost my mind to be able to get up, like you said, at 4 or to be there, and teach a class and be back to get them ready into school by 8. But what I found out was I couldn't get up at 6 a.m. That just didn't happen. But if I woke up before 6 a.m.,
I had this massive energy. It was so weird. Like that 4 to 5 was like my golden time to wake up. If it's after that, then it better between 7 and 8 because I'm okay then. That I'm all right. But if I wake up, I don't know what it is. So you just really have to get to know your body. And there is things you can discipline yourself to. But if it really is your body feeding that back, make it a little earlier or just kind of play because you'll find out where that sweet spot is. Of course, everybody says Kathy doesn't sleep anyway, but it is pretty much true. Having so many kids, doing that 10 to 6 all the time, and then having a son with special needs who's deaf and autistic who does not sleep well at night. I don't really have a sleep pattern. And so I had to release myself from all the motivational speakers. You're going to be an early bird. You got to get up early. So I literally pushed myself to do things that was actually not productive because I was not getting enough sleep. And so then I wasn't able to accomplish what I needed to in the day by trying to force myself to be something that was outside my box. So I had to literally figure out what was it that works for me. Well, staying up late, because again, the kids were asleep. Right. So late worked well for me. And then sometimes I had to learn that, okay, now you even have to get up early. Like now my schedule is I get up before him, I stay up after him. I know he takes a nap in the middle of the afternoon, so do I. So I had to figure that out. Right. And so I want to free those of you that out there that you're being so hard on yourself. Find the routine. The routine's what's important. Yeah. That same routine every single day is what's important. And then finding what your body works with and of course what sometimes is forced on you. You don't have a choice.
For yourself, yeah.
For yourself.
Just because
you have to discipline yourself at times.
What works for me might not work for you. What works for you might not work for them. So take the time to figure out what works for you and what you are okay with and
then have the discipline. Yeah. Because you're going to have to do that no matter what. No matter what you choose, you're at some time going to have to be disciplined and force yourself to do that. And when you do that, you are going to reap the benefits from it. Yeah. For sure. For sure. That is so awesome. I just love it. I love hearing young moms and their stories and, the things that they do to get through the day because it's so encouraging to everybody else because there is things out there, even if you have a family, there is so much you can do that includes them, that they're watching there. They're little eyes watching you all the time. And so use those experiences. Like you said, there's so many things out there we all have gifts, talents, and abilities. I always say each one of us, I have gifts that you don't have. And because you're my friend, you complete things that I can't do and vice versa. So, and we're able to step in for each other because of that, and I think that's great. And finding people that can help complete you is so important as well. Finding that circle that's going to help support what you are in is important because you are a product of who you hang around with, who your circle is. So you want to make sure that's nice and tight and then that will free you to be able to do the things for your kids that you need to do for your kids. And if you're not sure what you're wanting to do, you've wanted to start a business, you don't know, it's good to take times and just look at yourself, find out what am I known for? What do my friends attract me for? Do they come and ask me for advice? Am I always the one who's bringing the baked goods to the party? Somebody's having a party, and so you're always the one bringing the mixed cocktails and all the great desserts and maybe baking is in your mix. You'll know what your gifts are, and if you're not sure, take time to figure that out. And then if you have kids, don't let that be a hard stop. Like you said, there's ways you can do that. For me, I was in the gym back then because I could take my kids with me. There was a daycare right there. They could go back there. Most of the time, they ended up on the floor with me. You've always probably wondered where Genesis got her entrepreneurship. That's where she was. My daughter, Genesis, the youngest one, is friends with her as well. And so she literally would follow me around. She is my protege. She would be able to sell memberships to a gym at 8 years old that adults couldn't do. They would literally put her with the new hires and ask them to sell a tanning membership to her. And she would get them talked down every time, or if it was flipped,
Yeah.
they would buy the biggest package from her because she knew it so much. And she'd go around sell little gym memberships and talking about, a tan makes you look so much better. I mean, it was just crazy. But again, she got to follow around and learn those things. And now you see her now, a young entrepreneur just like you. And so just think, I want to encourage you to keep going because your kids are watching you. And it's going to be the biggest joy when you see what they step into by watching what you do. And that is just amazing. Amazing. So,
Totally.
yeah, well, I am so happy you were able to come. I am thinking about your kids right now so that she don't jet out that door. She's made a joke, like, if we don't get this done by a certain time, I'm going to have to leave because I got to pick up my kids. But so we'll end on that note, our kids, because they are jewels. They're precious. Before you know it, they grow up. Do take time. I know that sometimes you can be tired and wore out, and running a business is stressful, and you feel like, okay, that's the one thing I can just put on hold. You will wake up and they will be having kids. And you're like, I'm a grandma now. It happens just that fast. And so enjoy every moment. I tell all of you moms out there, enjoy every moment. They're so precious. They're so important. And with that, we will be excited to see you on our next episode of Be Life Changers. Please like, follow, share. Be ready for the next episode, and we'll be looking forward to seeing you.